The Call of Duty community will never hear another video about me complaining about skill-based matchmaking unless I have literal absolute reason to. You know guys, I have a quick message to the Call of Duty community. Number one, you've made a terrible mistake allowing me, this guy named Fooly, to be right about anything. Number two, if at any point during this whole SBMM topic, if you've ever decided upon yourself to talk trash to me for reading too much into Activision's words and Treyarch's announcements about low skill-based matchmaking or minimal SBMM, if you've talked trash, this is your opportunity to do right. But if for whatever reason you still find the need to try to talk down on somebody that's been trying to warn you all from the goddamn start, let it be known the line in the sand has been drawn. Me and everybody else with critical thinking skills, mark my words, we will be on the right side of history when all of this shit goes down with skill-based matchmaking in Black Ops 7. And we're gonna get into everything right now, but before we do guys, I'm gonna need you right now to Batista bomb the fucking like button, literally Mike Tyson left hook the like button right now, and subscribe if you're new guys. If you like shit talk, if you like memes, if you like somebody that spits the goddamn truth, this is the channel that you want to be subscribed to guys. We're on the way to 70,000 subscribers. Down in the comments below, hashtag F7. Let's get right into this. So a couple of days ago, unfortunately for a lot of people in the community, the Scatmaster was trending under entertainment, and I mean, are we even fucking surprised? Because I had this to say about Activision and Treyarch's words regarding skill-based matchmaking and their playlists at launch for Black Ops 7. Am I smoking crack, or did the original details and hype of reduced SBMM say that it was the default matchmaking for Black Ops 7? Now it's varied by playlist again? Please feel free to tell me I'm wrong as shit. I would love that actually. Guys, I cannot tell you how many people were telling me that I was reading into it too much, that I couldn't read. They were calling me retarded, which is valid. Everybody telling me I'm just exaggerating and reading into it too incorrectly so that I can make misinformation for my viewers and manipulate everybody. The Ghost of Hope even ratioed the dog shit out of me in response to this. And then lo and behold today, guys, I'm at the fucking aquarium. These kids are drawing 6-7 on a fucking fish on the board. I get this wonderful notification that says, I just don't care to stand around and act complicit on this. In fact, I defended their assumed wording under one of Fooly's tweets the other day, but clearly I was wrong. It's just not a great look, and they genuinely have not made any promises beyond day one and launch for this. What the fuck is this guy talking about? What is this in reference to? And no disrespect to the Ghost of Hope, but he's referencing this absolute abomination of a fucking tweet from Treyarch. Thanks to your beta feedback, the majority of Black Ops 7's multiplayer playlists will have open matchmaking, which will be similar to the beta experience where skill is minimally considered. The exception will be one rotating mosh pit at launch where skill will be an important consideration, and then ranked play will also use skill as an important consideration when it launches in Season 2. Oh, Activision, Treyarch, every single naysayer out there, everybody claiming I'm just rage baiting for lies and views and easy clicks, all this other shit. You guys fucked up. You guys just gave the most arrogant, annoying guy with the worst fucking mouth possible the allowance to say more shit. Guys, the portion of the community that has had critical thinking abilities this entire time, that's been literally ridiculed online every time they fucking talk about SBMM, they're literally right. At the end of the day, low consideration for skill in the matchmaking is not the default around the clock over here for Black Ops 7 and their matchmaking. What these people are saying, it is not the default like they said it was going to be. They have literally lied to you. And when I say they, I'm not talking about Treyarch, and we'll get into that in a little bit. We're talking about fucking Activision. At the end of the day, guys, this has always been the plan from Activision. If you or somebody you know has pre-ordered this game with the line of thought and the idea that Black Ops 7 either has no SBMM, or this idea that minimal SBMM would be the default and the standard for Black Ops 7 matchmaking, that is not true. And I highly recommend you all cancel your fucking pre-orders. Activision has literally lied about what matchmaking will look like in Black Ops 7. And before I get all of these dumbass fucking special needs, short bus riding morons in the comments section talking about, oh, they never said it was gonna be the default or the standard. They said that, oh, there was just gonna be open matchmaking. Motherfucker, this video is dedicated to you and Activision for a goddamn reason. And every single other fanboy or content creator or massive platform on YouTube or Twitter that has come out here with the supreme cope, like unfortunately our friend over here, Mr. Scatmaster Charles, who has just had Scatmaster ripped away from him. Mr. Charlie Intel says, we spoke with an Activision rep that confirmed the open matchmaking in Call of Duty Black Ops 7 multiplayer will be the same as it was in the beta, with skill minimally considered in the open playlists.
Oh, hooray, yay! Ice cream!
Let me tell you why this is a complete fucking nothing burger. Them trying to reassure us that the open matchmaking playlist is the playlist where skill is minimally considered is not the fucking problem here. The problem is the fact that they have a different playlist with regular or MW 2019 to present day SBMM in it. That is the problem. And to anybody out there that says, oh, well then just don't play that playlist, you are missing the fucking point. I've even seen Exclusive Ace come out here trying to defend this bullshit, and is it because he literally made an entirely different channel to try to get all the people that are positive with Call of Duty when Call of Duty has just made one of the worst fucking mistakes 2 days prior to launch? Maybe that's the reason he came out here with this cope and trying to fucking justify this bullshit about how they never said they weren't going to implement a different playlist and this minimal SBMM is still the default. That's not even the motherfucking point out here, man. Sure, we're not gonna come out here and say this is an absolute rug pull, but at the end of the goddamn day, you know this is the prelude to it. Anybody with common sense would know that. And the proof is in the pudding. I already told you guys that this was something that I thought was gonna happen. This was literally based off of their poorly worded blog posts, and just by knowing Activision and Call of Duty by history, I knew this was bound to happen, and then it happened. When I tell you guys that this is the prelude to a legitimate rug pull in the future, or at least all signs point towards that, yeah, that doesn't mean we're just manipulating you guys. And once again, the question you should be asking yourself is why even implement regular SBMM into the game? They did all the tests during the beta, did they not? Did they not conclude that there was positive results in the open matchmaking playlist where people had their skill minimally considered when searching for a match? Did people not come out here and express literal positivity about that in fucking droves? Guys, you had D1 rage baiters everywhere saying this was a great change. Why the flying fuck would you even implement the other option of regular SBMM in the first place if it weren't to do with the fact that possibly Activision is looking for a way to interpret data in a way that they can say, you know what guys, we tried the open matchmaking playlist, but it looks like people aren't playing it. It looks like the player retention is low. Our revenue has been lower. Our overall sales on launch day have been lower. Clearly, when skill is considered heavier, there's more positive results in the community overall.
Oh, really?
You literally know they're gonna say some absolute horse shit like that someday in the future. You know this is the same company that tried to get Sledgehammer Games to tell us that skill-based matchmaking was a positive thing for the community and that everybody saw greater player retention and that the games were better with SBMM heavier than they were reduced. You know this is the same company that literally denied the existence of SBMM for years. So why the fuck would you trust them to not try to interpret their data in some disgusting fucking way to give themselves the excuse to get rid of this open matchmaking playlist bullshit? Or at least to start running some disgusting tests in the background where they just implement it anyways and call it open matchmaking. I mean, that part is free to interpretation. You can be as skeptical as you want, and you deserve to be, because this company has been utterly fucking disgusting, giving you all the signs and red flags of a complete fucking rug pull just 2 days before launch, and now people that want to cancel their pre-orders, this is like the cherry on top. They can't even cancel their pre-orders because they dropped this right after the preloads, which make it so much more difficult for you to cancel your pre-order of the game after you preloaded the shit. And no, we're not done with this video yet because this is another little cherry on top. But did anybody else notice that they called this open matchmaking playlist just like the open matchmaking, and then the other one with regular SBMM, they're calling it the standard mosh pit, as if that disgusting, hideous version of SBMM is somehow considered the standard? And unfortunately, there's a lot of people in the community that the second they hear some guy named Fooly or Blame Truth or Narrow Cinema or Rick or Gilmore or Prime Pete or any of these other critical rage baiters, the second they hear any of us or people like us that have an opinion like this on Call of Duty talking shit about something that we want everybody to be aware of, they always chalk it up to, oh, you're just rage baiting, man, I'm a fucking pussy. I'm sorry, but this time it's not gonna work. Thankfully, at least on Twitter, the Scadmaster's tweets have been reaching a fucking fat ass audience that I have not seen before, and luckily for us, there is a ton of support on this idea that Activision need to be held accountable for all of their fucking lies, for all of their purposeful miswording and jumbled up fucking phrasing to confuse people with this idea that Black Ops 7 was going to have minimal SBMM as a default all around the fucking game as a means to garner more pre-orders. And it's interesting that these tweets come out from Treyarch because all of a sudden we're made to believe that now they just want to be crystal clear about what's about to happen in the launch of Black Ops 7 with this whole open matchmaking lobbies versus the standard ones just 2 days before launch. And yet we were made to believe for the last like 2 goddamn months with every single dev talk, every single update that they put on Twitter, that they're listening to the community and they can hear exactly what the fuck we're saying, when everybody across the goddamn board has been hyping this game up to have open matchmaking throughout. Not any side modes on the goddamn side that are magically appearing now. None of this, oh, well, it's just like the beta, right? Like we have the open matchmaking and the closed matchmaking. Nope. Nobody was hyping Black Ops 7 to be that. And they knew that very well. We knew Treyarch was listening and they could see that. But the reason they didn't correct anybody and the reason they didn't come out here and just be transparent as all fuck more than 2 days before launch was not because of them. It was because of Activision. We already got confirmation that Treyarch handles absolutely fuck all when it comes to skill-based matchmaking. They already said it is above them. It is not something that they touch or influence. These are all moves by Activision. Don't tell me that Treyarch implemented this closed matchmaking in the game just like the beta because they want the people who should be protected to go play those matchmaking lobbies and then everybody else to play the open matchmaking lobbies to make shit more fair. Don't tell me that, oh, well, they just did this to give us the choice, because they didn't do it. It was Activision. And you know Activision doesn't give a flying fuck about which option you choose. What they want at the end of the day is the bottom line. They want the money. They knew people were gonna pre-order with the pretense that, oh, there's minimal SBMM all throughout Black Ops 7, which now we know is not true and is not the case. They knew that having this be announced 2 days before launch, when all of the preloads have already happened to prevent the cancellations of these pre-orders, they knew all of that shit was gonna happen. They know they're gonna have fanboys down in the comments talking in defense of them against people that simply want everybody else to see the fucking truth. No, this is not an entire rug pull. Anybody who claims it is, they're kind of jumping the gun, and I can even admit that. Once again, D1 Rage Baiter over here. I can admit that. This is not an entire rug pull, but this is literally the person standing in front of the rug, putting their hands on both corners and beginning to lift the shit up.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga! You know nothing about that!
You know what's coming next, and it's not gonna happen tomorrow. It might not happen for 2 weeks or 2 months, but maybe going into MW 2019 Part 4 or any game after that, you know the quote-unquote data that they receive from this. You know they're gonna use that to their advantage. You know they're gonna reference that someday in the future. These motherfuckers are not to be trusted. Anybody that canceled their pre-order successfully, good job. Anybody in here that's trying to defend skill-based matchmaking or trying to defend Activision or trying to give me this cope that, oh, well, just because they said it was the default matchmaking doesn't mean there can't be other playlists. You motherfuckers ridiculed me for insinuating there would be other playlists. Make your fucking mind up. Do not fall for this cope and hype that, oh, the reason there's another matchmaking playlist option is to just give people the choice. These motherfuckers don't give a flying fuck about player choice. The only choice they want you guys to make is to scroll over to the shop and spend some fucking money. Don't tell me this is Treyarch just trying to be pro-community by giving everybody the choice of which matchmaking playlist they want to be under, when literal random people on the internet can come up with a better concept for this shit to work. Here's an idea: make it be called boot camp instead of standard, and once you hit level 30, you're locked out of it and forced to play open. Guys, everybody is calling this shit out, and if it comes to be that you're playing Black Ops 7, that's okay. There's nothing against you for playing Black Ops 7. I'm gonna play Black Ops 7. This is a fucking COD channel. Doing it for free, but still. Obviously, these motherfuckers aren't profiting off of me, especially not when I'm telling other people to cancel their fucking pre-orders and not buy shit. If you happen to play Black Ops 7, this is the next step, since these motherfuckers have already lifted their hands up to begin a possible rug pull. Literally avoid that playlist at all costs. Do not tell your friends to play it. If your friends are shitters and they need to be protected, take them into open matchmaking and fucking carry them. That standard matchmaking playlist should be a fucking graveyard and skew the fucking dog shit out of the data they could possibly pull from it, so that there's no way they could justifiably and genuinely and honestly tell you that there is a less player retention in the open matchmaking playlist as opposed to the closed standard one. Call of Duty community, unfortunately you have disappointed me and yourselves, and a lot of you guys have already made the bed. You gotta fucking lay in it now. And everybody else with common sense, say it with me: Activision, fuck you. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. What are your thoughts on everything that has happened with skill-based matchmaking in the last 24, 48 hours? Do you think Activision is gonna rug pull us? Do you think people are just over-exaggerating like we always tend to right before being proven right? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.